Well, hello and welcome to the latest episode of the FQ show. As you can see around me, I don't have any guests here in person because we're doing a slightly special episode this week. We're going to be doing a two-part series focusing on the Australia Cup, the round of 32, and our four teams that are involved in that, being Brisbane City, Logan Lightning, Magpies Crusaders and Peninsula Power. First up, we headed out to Brisbane City to hear what they had to say. Alrighty, well, first up, we're here at CTM Stadium for Brisbane City, and I'm joined here today by Scott Halliday and Matthew Jones. Boys, how are we?
Very well, thank you.
How's the season been tracking for you guys so far?
Obviously, quite disappointed with our league form since the start of the season, really. But yeah, still buzzing that we're still in the cup, so we've still got something to play for the rest of the season. It seems like obviously the top four seems out of touch at this point of the season, which is obviously massively disappointing for us as a club and as a squad. But certainly focused on the cup next week, which will be a massive night for the club.
Yeah. So, how long have you boys been playing for the club? You're in about your second year, Scotty? Or?
Yeah, second year that I came back to the club. I was at the club as a junior as well. Had a few years at the Brisbane Strikers, and then came back a couple of years ago.
Yeah. What about yourself, Jonesy?
Yeah, I've been here for 4 years now.
Yeah, nice. You're of course a part of the squad in 2020 that was unfortunately relegated from the NPL, but then in 2021 won the league. 20 straight victories. What was it like to kind of be on that roller coaster from start to finish there?
No, that's exactly it. It was a massive roller coaster. So 2020, obviously devastating for everyone that was a part of the club. And then we sort of regrouped, got back together, and got a quality signing in Scotty. Fraser Hills as well, and we did really well in the league in 2021 and exceeded expectations really, and got back into the NPL, and we see how difficult it is this year in the NPL. It's really competitive, so been a roller coaster journey so far.
And Scott, you of course FQPL 1 Player of the Year. How was it to be such a vital cog in that engine in the heart of midfield there?
Yeah, that was great to be recognised and awarded with that. It was a really special season for the club to go undefeated and win every game, the grand final as well. To be a part of that team was really special, and to build on that this year, I think it set a good foundation and something to build on for future as well. But obviously really enjoyed the season last season. The league form, as I mentioned, has been poor this season, but if we can push on with the cup, it can still be a good season.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the Australia Cup, which is obviously why we're here, Jonesy, you, out of the two of you had the first sort of taste of a cup success, 2015 with Palm Beach or Gold Coast City. Tell us a bit about that. How'd you go?
Yeah, it was massive. It was massive for Palm Beach at the time. I know we got to play at Seabus Stadium, which was huge, and I think we had the first game at the Cup against South Melbourne, which was actually televised. So it was huge. I just remember it being an amazing experience, and we went all the way to extra time and penalties. And we had guys like Christian Rees, Love Island superstar Owen Murphy in the team as well. So it was an amazing night. And then to get through to the next round against Western Sydney was huge, and getting to play against pros was massive. So it was really good for Palm Beach and for the community as well.
Yeah, and you were playing alongside a current teammate now, Roman Hoffman. He's been to a few either side of your time there. How does he have fond memories of those journeys as well?
Yeah, he could be the most experienced cup player, I reckon, in Australia. So he's played a few cup games. We had a great time at Palm Beach, and it's really good to link up with him again. He's a great player and great teammate. So I'm sure he'll bring a lot of experience into the team around the cup. So it's good to have him around.
Yeah. So as a defender yourself, when you're playing against the Western Sydney Wanderers, who'd you have in your pocket that day?
No one. Yeah. I just remember. Yeah, it was a lot of running. I think I looked up the clock after 10 minutes. I thought I'd played 30. So it was. It was a really, really, really tough game. They were they were sharp, and I remember trying to run after Mitch Nichols, and I couldn't get close. So it was a good experience.
Yeah, no, he's an absolute magician on the ball on his day as well. So it was prime Mitch Nichols back then. Scotty, you had an amazing run in 2019 with Brisbane Strikers, the furthest any Queensland side's ever got. We could probably talk all night on this, but what were some of the memories of that run?
Yeah, great memories at Perry Park as well, where the game will be next week. So yeah, myself and Fraser will be very familiar with.
Like a home game, really.
Yeah, exactly. Usually a good surface there at Perry Park as well. So that'll suit us playing our football. So great memories. We obviously beat Wellington Phoenix in the round of 32 on penalties. That was a great game to come up against professionals as well, just to see that next level and show that we can match it as well with them. So and then beat Manly in the round of 16, who are another good team from New South Wales.
Yeah, picked up a red card in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple of yellow cards. But actually served the one match suspension in the league, so I was able to play the quarterfinal against Moreland Zebras. Yep. Another good team who made it that far as well, and then obviously meeting Melbourne City in the semi-final, which they were at a different level again. I'd say probably the best team in Australia at that time. Jamie McLaren up front as well was
banged 2 goals that night. He was
really good. Really good player, and their whole squad. I think Josh Brillante in the middle as well was really good. So to play against players of that level was really good for us as a squad, and just came short on the night, but it was a great experience to go that far.
Yeah, although the feeling after the first 5 minutes might have been one of, we could do this.
Yeah, it was. Great goal by Andy Pangeli, scored the first goal, and then conceded just before half-time. I actually gave the ball away. Jamie McLaren, probably the best presser in Australia as well at the time, and he was just on me quicker than I could move the ball, and just nipped in, and Connor Metcalf scored, who's a quality player as well on that night as well. Yeah,
you've always had a great squad then, and I suppose you touched on it before in your Palm Beach days. Like squad culture and the team culture is really important in these cup games. How would you compare the squads that you had back then when in your cup runs to how the Brisbane City squad is now?
I think the culture that we have at Brisbane City is great. Obviously, as I mentioned, in the league this season, we've had some disappointing results. On the weekend before the cup game against Lions, we obviously lost to them heavily. But in the dressing room, we were pretty confident going into the cup game on I think it was the Tuesday night, which I think outside of the dressing room, not many people give us a chance, seeing the result on the weekend. But internally, we knew that we had a good chance at home to get a result, and that's exactly what we did. And obviously, the spirit and the culture of the team played a massive part in that. And for the full 90 minutes, everyone put in a massive shift, and it was obviously a great result for the club. Yeah.
How do you enjoy the dressing room vibe compared to previous teams you've been in?
We got a good vibe here at City. Got some pretty funny lads in the change room, so it's always exciting to get amongst the boys. And I think the similarities between here and Palm Beach is that you had good vibes in the change room, and I think you need good vibes in order to progress into comps like these. So it's good. We probably had a better A-League player in Christian Reeves over Matt Smith at Palm Beach.
But you're out of the team for saying once he sees this, mate.
No, quite similar in terms of banter amongst the boys and good vibes.
Yeah, and what does it mean for the club to be on the national stage, given that it's in its 70th year of existence and such a monumental time in the club's history? The first time as well on the national stage.
Yeah, I think it's a proud moment. The first time that the club has qualified for the national stage of the Australia FFA Cup. So in the 70th year anniversary for the club as well. So it's a big moment, and just around the club you can tell how much it means to everyone involved in the club, as well as past players and legends of the club. And speaking to them, it's to have qualified for this round of the cup, it means a lot to the club.
Awesome. Obviously we're here tonight and it's a bit rainy and you're not training, but how are you boys preparing for for the match up against Coburn City this next week?
Yeah, doing heaps of extras. No, no, I think it's business as usual, to be honest. Like we've got a good training program. We've got good staff that look after us and gives us heaps of info and insight on what we need to do. So I don't think we're doing anything different from that perspective. I think it's just from us individually, like gearing up for a big game. So really, it's actually easy to get pumped up for these big games. So I think all the boys are going to be on for it.
Yeah. How are you feeling for the matchup with Coburn City? Do you know much about them, or like?
Not a massive amount, to be fair. We obviously see their league position. They're in a similar position to us in the league. So, but yeah, you can't really read too much into that. I don't think. I think that the cup is a different competition, and form kind of goes out the window in the cup, I think. So it'll just be the best team on the night. We'll go through, I think.
Yeah. Hypothetically, if you guys hopefully make it through to the next round, so obviously looking for an away day. Scotty, you didn't even get one in your 2019 run. It was all games at Perry Park. Is there any clubs that you'd be really sort of excited to go up against in that time, or?
Not really an A-League club. I'd be wanting an away trip to another NPL team, ideally.
Yeah.
Just to travel and
play something different, do something different.
Exactly, yeah. Not just Perry Park all the time. I've played enough games there, but just other clubs from other states NPLs. It's always good to see kind of the level of other NPL leagues. Against an A-League team, it's obviously a very difficult game, a lot more chasing than I'd like to do ideally. So just probably another NPL team would be an ideal draw.
Well, speaking of Perry Park, you boys are obviously playing there on this Wednesday night against Coburn City, 7:30 kickoff. Obviously want all the Brisbane City fans to come out and support them. Have you got any words of encouragement to the fans to get down?
Yeah, I'd probably just say it's massive game for the club. Like you said, 70th year. It's something memorable for the club. You want to be there to celebrate. We're hoping to get to the round of 16. So it's huge for us as players, and it's going to be huge for spectators as well. So hopefully put on a show for everyone and get the result.
Yeah. Well, for tickets to that game, make sure you head to Brisbane City's Facebook or website where they'll be selling them there, or you can find them through FQ's social channels as well. So thank you, boys, for the catch up, and all the best for Wednesday night. Hope you go well.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers. All right, I'm now down here at Boutoubia Park speaking to Logan Lightning players Eddie Bidwell and Jacob Boutoubia. Boys, how are you feeling? You ready for the Oz Cup match this week?
Keen, pumped, ready to go.
Yeah, no, it should be unreal. Can't wait for the away trip with the boys.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Adelaide City, it's a big one. First of all, though, how long have you boys been here at Logan? Tell us a bit about yourselves and your playing history.
So this is my first year at Logan. Previous to this, I was at Gold Coast City a couple of years ago, coming up from Sydney. A couple of teams down in Sydney, but then made the move up this year to Logan to, I guess, follow Rick up with the club. So it was a good move.
How are you enjoying Logan?
Unreal. Yeah, it's good. We're adapting to a few things. Obviously, we train in the mornings, so it works well with our lifestyle choices. I think a few of the boys are in the same boat. It just works well with our work.
Yeah. What about yourself, Eddie?
Year and a half sort of thing. So I came up in 2020 and obviously had the pre-season here, a couple of games in the QPL, and then COVID happened, got sent home, which was all right, but we dealt with it, and then moved back up here a second time, more of a lifestyle change this time, and then Rick got in contact with me, made the move to Logan, and loving it, to be honest. The boys are really good. There's a good vibe around us, even with how we're situated at the moment. Training's good. We've got a high intensity there, even for morning sessions, which is good. Getting up early, we
get stuck in early,
short and sharp, get in, and then it's pretty good, to be honest. Good to be back.
So you've come up from Tasmania. You're formerly at Devonport Strikers. How do you sort of rate the change in terms of the competition there, like the NPL in Tasmania compared to the NPL in Queensland?
I think this year, more than most prior, I think has been a very even playing field. Obviously that you've got some high hitters up here with Lions, Olympic, Gold Coast Knights, Penn Power, but I think the level playing field's there for pretty much everyone, which is really good. More so in Tassie, you've probably got 3 or 4 good heavy hitters there, Kingborough, Devonport, Glenorchy, South Hobart. I think the competition's starting to even out more and more as the years go on. But I think those 4 are still quite up there as the top teams. Lonnie City's slowly getting up there as well. But the competition up here, it's a lot technically really good. I think a couple of those teams, Devonport especially, I think they could come up here and do a job. But yeah, I think technically it is a standard above. Yeah, that's essentially it, really.
Yeah. What about yourself, Jacob, compared to sort of growing up in Sydney and playing, for teams down there? Who did you play for down there?
So I played for Marconi, Sydney Olympic, and Wollongong Wolves.
Oh wow, some big clubs down
they're
there.
quite decent.
Big clubs.
No, it's good. It's a different type of league, I'd say. Queensland. It's very physical.
Yep.
There's not many teams that give you much time on the ball or much time to respect, kind of thing. And I think there's maybe a little split, like Eddie was saying, with your top teams, your Lions, your Knights, your Powers, your Olympics. That they're always competitive and you have to turn up every single week if you're playing one of them. It's a good league. It's changed a lot. When I played 2017, I was playing in this league. At the time we had Cairns, Townsville, Toowoomba all in the league as well. Since then it's changed a little bit. But no, the league's growing quite rapidly, which is nice.
Yeah, it's they're quite close in that for that top 4 battle as well, and yourselves at the moment quite a bit down lower than you'd like, but it's still quite tight, and anything can happen around there. Hey,
I think we're using it as motivation as well. Like obviously, it's coming to a tight point of the year where we need to get results, or otherwise it's not going to look too great at the end of the season. I think we're mentally we're getting ourselves locked in, like we have been all season, but mentally we're getting locked in. Right, like this is a final every week. We focus on one game at a time. Obviously, on the weekend it was Moreton Bay. We've moved into Adelaide now, and then after Adelaide, regardless of the result, we'll look towards Brisbane City on the Sunday. So I think mentally we're tuning in game by game instead of looking forward what could happen. We're going game by game and step by step.
Absolutely. And so, how much does the Australia Cup and like your progression there sort of motivate you to sort of say that hey, we can do it? Like you beat Olympic, and that was a surprising result to a lot of people. A very underdog fight there, but like, how are the boys after a big result like that?
I think we like being the underdog, to be honest. Like we're not, obviously by most people we're not expected to do too well, but we're going in as an underdog against a big team like Adelaide City, who are quite, they've been around for a while, quite strong, dominated that league for a number of years now with a couple of other teams. But it's good to be the underdog. Like there's no pressure on us. We can go in wanting to be exciting, be expansive, go in, get stuck in early doors, try our best and see how we go, sort of thing. But they're a good side. They've been around for a while. They've got some really good technical players as well up top. So we're going to try and push them and see what we can do. There's no pressure on us, really.
Yeah, fantastic. And the confidence boost that you get from beating Olympic was good for the boys and really sort of helped boost that league performance as well.
Definitely. I think especially the last few games that we've got onto a little bit of a run of form. And it all really kicked off from that Olympic game. Our plan was go in there stress-free, enjoy it, just make the most of what it was at the time, work hard, see if we can jag a result almost. And for us, we dug deep, scored 2 worldies in my opinion, and held off for a great win, and that just started our little bit of momentum, which I think we found at the time that we needed it. So
absolutely, yeah, and then it capped it off with a big win against Sunshine Coast Fire, who were, probably would have fancied their chances as being the underdog themselves, but put that to bed with 5 goals. It was a good result.
Yeah, similar sort of situation, to be honest. Like they're obviously kicking around, I think, middle of the table in the QPL one, and they're decent enough. They've got a young squad, a really good squad, and I think if we cut it off early, and that's what obviously got us through, like kind of cut the spirit sort of thing. But they did really well opening 20-25 minutes. They were really up to us and had us under the pump at time, and then we scored that first goal, second goal, and then went on with it from there, went on business as usual.
Yeah, happy days. And Jacob, you've had some cup experience in the past with Gold Coast City, 2018?
2017 that
2017,
was.
sorry,
That's okay.
Now tell us about that.
So we had in 2017 we had quite a good run. We made it to the round of 8 and then drew South Melbourne at Seabus Stadium. The result obviously didn't go to plan. I think we lost 6-0. But it was a great turnout by the local community. I think we had a couple thousand people to the game.
Fantastic.
So to make it that
what
far,
Cup's all about, hey?
It was unreal. It was so special. So hopefully we can replicate that.
And you beat a local club in Moreton Bay who had their sort of only cup run, I think, in the national stages. You currently play with Matt Capello. Is there any banter amongst you?
No, it's good. Like I didn't know till this year. We brought it up halfway through the season when we're playing in the cup.
Oh, by the way.
Me and Kappa were going, did you play in that game? Because obviously the coaches were brothers as well at the time.
True.
So you had the two Pittix.
Yeah.
So it was like a rivalry between them.
Yeah.
So it was good to get the result, and then even better to beat Kappa. So, yeah, it was good.
Fantastic. And so Eddie, you played in 2018, and that was when you had a run against a couple of Victorian teams?
Yeah. So we drew Northcote first round away, which
Where is that?
Well, it was funny. It was played. I believe. Hume City's home, I think it was, or something like that. They weren't allowed to hold it at their venue, so we had to move it to an AstroTurf pitch. I'm not sure exactly of what club it was, but yeah, played them and did all right, 3-1. We got 2 early goals, and then one of their players got sent off, so it got our confidence up. But you've got to be always quite switched on in those sorts of games. Melbourne teams are always quite strong, especially if they're getting into that sort of stage of the cup. So you've got to be on it all the time. Won 3-1 there. And then moved on to Avondale, who had quite a strong side, always have a strong side in the cup, like you can see from the numerous years that they've been around for.
They're already through to the round of 16
exactly.
now as well.
So they're a massive team, and we fell up short there, 2-1 at half time, and then we got a player sent off, and they're a really strong side. They are. They had Elvis Kent, he just played with Melbourne Victory, played with Sydney, So that's just one of them. I think they had a couple of others that have gone to Newcastle. Boland's still there. They had a really strong side then, and unfortunately we couldn't meet it with them. But no, it was an unreal cup run, 2 away trips. 2021 we qualified as well. Unfortunately, that didn't go ahead, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess, sort of thing. Like with COVID and everything that had happened, it's something that can't really.
Control the controllables, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You can only control so much, and the COVID was tough. But the competition, just how it was run last year, it ended up finishing even this year. So.
Yeah, 100%, and unfortunately that's how it went.
Yeah, but we've got the cup back, and we had an open draw we didn't have an open draw last year, but we had an open draw this year, and could have got anyone. You picked up Adelaide City away. What are your thoughts on drawing? A good team from South Australia.
Buzzing. So we wanted anything away. So we were having dinner upstairs, and we were thinking Perth away or Adelaide away would be unbelievable. So the scenes in the dinner room after that, I guess, draw was something special. So we're excited for the game. We're excited to see what, I guess, the Adelaide level can hold. And we'd like to see, I guess, how we can go against one of the top sides in the country, really, based on form and in-stat reviews. So they're going to be up for it.
Absolutely. And so getting some time off work. What's the
taking 2 days off. So maybe do a little bit of work on the aeroplane if I can. But if not, I'll take a couple of days off, and maybe even Friday if I can.
Yeah, were you secretly hoping that you got Devonport away to go and visit the fam?
It was talked up a fair bit. I think I got like 4 or 5 messages before the draw had even happened. It's like, hope we get hope to go back, hope we see you, sort of thing. And I'm happy with who they've got. Like, obviously that'll be massive for them pulling an A-League side. Wellington, like I really hope they do well, regardless of the result. I mean, obviously I hope they win against the A-League side, but it'll be massive for the club, like the club community. You look back at 2016 when they played a few sides down there. We had 3,000, 3,500 to both games. Like it's a massive thing for the community and supports the club in a massive way as well. So
100%.
To draw an A-League team would be unreal. It would have been nice to draw on myself, but would never hear the end of it either way. So
Well, last time Wellington drew a strikers team that was Brisbane Strikers in 2019, and they didn't fare well. So
there you go.
Strikers went under the semi-final. So there's hope for them.
Bit of deja vu. Love it.
Yeah, well, it's been fantastic catching up with you boys today. Thanks for having me here at your home grounds. Appreciate it.
Anytime,
thanks very much. Anytime.
So the game is this Wednesday night at 7:30 down at Martin Sports Complex down in South Australia in Adelaide. Tickets to the game, if you're there, I'm sure can be found from Adelaide's website, but you'll most likely be watching live and free through 10 Play, so make sure you tune in for that one. Thanks for having me, boys. It's see you next time. Cheers. Alrighty, well, that wraps up part 1 of this week's episode of the show. It was fantastic to catch up with Logan Lightning and Brisbane City to hear how they're preparing for their clash coming up on Wednesday nights. For tickets and fixture details, make sure you head to Football Queensland's website where we'll have all that stuff. Brisbane City, they're at home at Perry Park, kicking off at 7:30 against Coburn City on the Wednesday the 27th. So tickets for that on their website and also through ours. Whereas Logan Lightning, they're actually away down against Adelaide City at the same time on the same day. So make sure you're tuning in to them on 10 Play, where you can catch all the action there. Make sure you look out for us for part 2, where we will be catching up with Magpies Crusaders and Peninsula Power. Thank you. Have a good one.